Now, when looking back in the history of Pokemon cards, you might have seen some that have some weird abilities. Rather, they stop your opponent from playing the game, or they limit one factor. And I'm not talking about necessarily the best Pokemon cards ever created, although some of them, they might be in this list. I'm talking about the cards that make your opponent want to scoop on the spot. So today, we're going to look at the most toxic Pokemon cards in history. Before this video starts, I highly recommend watching the past toxic Pokemon cards. They were a blast to make, but let's move it on to Alex.
First card is Getsis. Hey, I know this card. This was boss's orders, right? Wrong. Your opponent reveals his or her hand and shuffles all item cards found there into his or her deck. Alright, I mean, that's already annoying, right? You know, it can't be that annoying. Then draw a number of cards equal to the number of item cards your opponent shuffled into his or her deck. So this is like great draw and hand disruption. Now let's put one and one together. What if I got Vileplume in play and then I got Getsis? So my opponent is just stacking up item cards in their hand and I play Getsis. I throw all their item cards back in the deck and I get to draw like what, 12 cards? That sounds annoying. If my hand got reduced to like 2 or 3 trash cards and then I just saw my opponent draw 15 cards, I mean at that point wrap it up, just go home, man. Like, I don't care if there's 2 more rounds in the tournament, just get back in the car and go home. You already lost this one. My opponent just shuffled my item cards back into the deck. It can't get worse than this, right? You know, eventually next turn I'll draw them. Nah. Aries says, I don't want them back in the deck. I want them in the discard. Your opponent reveals their hand and you discard up to 2 item cards you found there. I personally hated this card. I used to play Lost Zone. If you played Lost Zone, you know you get 4 Mirage Gates in your deck. If you had 2 in your hand and someone played Airy, looks like you're attacking with Cramorant the whole game. Like, these item cards, if they're that crucial to your deck, maybe it's the last Super Rod you have, you need that one last energy in your deck. Airy says, I don't care. Throw it back with that item card and that energy in the discard. Get it out of here. I'm going to read this last supporter card. If you've never seen this card, you might not believe that it's real. It's real, and I'm pretty sure it's banned also. We got Lysander's trump card. Look at him in the picture. He looks like evil mastermind. I'm scared of that guy. This guy looks more scary than Yveltal. And that's like the legendary. Besides that, the text says, each player shuffles all cards in his or her discard pile into his or her deck. So you could play the whole game. You got like 2 cards left in your deck. You played all your stuff. You got 50 cards in your discard pile. Lysander's trump card. This 30-minute game is turning into an hour and a half. You see the tournaments, if you watch the regionals on the streams, you see that they go to time for like 3 games. Nah, I'm gonna make this one game 2 hours. You could strategize, play all you want, try to manage resources, and your opponent says, nah, throw it all back. Like, there's no counter to this card. Well, you literally can't play anything to stop this.
Now imagine if this deck existed when you were playing One Trio Mill, bruh. You discard 50 cards from their deck and they just say, nah, Lysandra's trump card, bruh. Throw it all back. What?
That's sick. You just milled 50 cards from my deck? Hey, do it again.
And you could play 4 of these. 4.
I'd have to research. I don't know if this card was legal when Palpad was legal. But imagine that. You play Lysander's trump card, you Palpad it back. You got infinite loop, because once again the text says you can't do Lysander's trump card on itself, but you sure can throw a Palpad back in the deck. This card had to be banned. This last one's gonna be really divisive. If you played during the Sword and Shield or Scarlet Violet era, you either loved this card or you hated this card. This card either said you can play the game or it said you can't play the game. We have Path to the Peak. It shuts off the abilities of any rule box Pokemon. Even Radiant Pokemon. So like Radiant Greninja and Radiant Charizard were legal at this time, it shut them off. So some decks like Gardevoir that really needed their ability, you put this in play, you can't use your ability. You gotta just wait it out for a turn. Another thing that this thing shuts off all the abilities for like your main attackers. So hey, maybe you want to use Meowth EX, maybe you want to use Lumineon V. Can't use them. So you're stuck with the trash hand that you have because your abilities can't do anything. If you know Team Rocket's Watchtower right now, that only shuts off colorless abilities. And that card's already annoying. What if it shut off literally every type? Path to the Peak. It's peak! That was just one example of really annoying stadium. But what if you're one of those people that maybe you just hate stadiums? You just never want to play them in your deck, and you never want your opponent to play that. Pokemon's got a card for you. We got Chaotic Swell. It says, whenever either player plays a stadium card from their hand, discard that stadium after discarding this one. You put Chaotic Swell in play, your opponent, remember, you can only play one stadium card a turn. Your opponent plays a stadium, bumps Chaotic Swell. Yeah, but they don't get to use their stadium because they gotta discard it. Guess what I'm gonna do on my next turn? Play another Chaotic Swell. I play 4 of these cards. My opponent's never playing a stadium. Play this card if you hate Path to the Peak. Play this card if you hate Forest of Giant Plants, the new grass stadium. Play this if you just hate stadiums. Maybe you just hate your opponent. You just want them to not play the game. Put this card in your deck. Alright. Looks like that's all. Wait. Is that my cat? What is that?
Tango?
Oh! Get this shut off my porch!
Man, I'm not even explaining this card. Just burn it already,
Man, I hate this card.
Get it out of here, man.
Before we end this video,
If you really want to play a one-off of every single card in this video,
we're not responsible if you put these cards in your deck and you get jumped in the parking lot, okay? Remember, it's just a card game, but if your opponent's playing this, just walk out. Just walk home.
do not kill the messenger, bro. Do not kill him. Well, trainers, those are the most toxic Pokemon in history. And if you want more, leave a like, honestly. And go in the comments and tell me if you have one of your most toxic Pokemon cards. I read every single one of those comments. And hey, if you always want more videos like this, subscribe. But I'll see y'all. I'm out.
Now, let's put a little
If you want, you can go. You can like. I'm gonna put the. No, but in the background.
The stupid ant, the sad ant that's like.
Yeah, but like in the background, you should be like.
No, dude, I've already
Okay.
figured so many things to edit, bro. Don't even worry, bro.
Okay. And that's the end of the video. Oh my god, bro.
Is that good?
Guys, that was